Hello and welcome to this presentation of SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer. When you first log into SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer, you're presented with a home page. The home page is a dashboard that I've prepared for myself so I can get a good understanding of what I have on and what the rest of the organization is doing. This is very similar to the SAP Business One cockpit, where you have a suite of features, shortcuts to give yourself a quick view or quick access throughout the rest of the system. In SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer, these tiles fall into several categories. They can be KPIs, scorecards, reports, and tools. So I've logged on as Tret Black, and he is a sales manager. So he's organized his homepage based on what he would like to see when he first logs in. So if we were to go through a few of these examples, we've got the news feed up the top left there. So this is a great tool because what it does, it looks at my upcoming activities and scans the net and gives me content from the net to give me an idea of what if there's any information relating to that organization on the net to present it to me. All about getting myself prepared for any appointments or phone calls that I may have today or tomorrow or in the future. Next, I have the feed, which is very similar to the news feed, but this is just looking within the organization. So based on additions, updates, or comments within SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer, I can subscribe to those and then get a feed. So when I log in, I see the feed. Today's update's got no updates today, but it will inform me and I can drill through. There's other things like my tasks. So if I were to drill into my tasks, which I've got 8 overdue at the moment, this will take me directly to the source within SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer to give me a view of those open tasks. So I see I've got several 8 open, and I can look over that and get an understanding. So I can scroll up and down and then also drill through, which is great. I can also adjust the look and feel. So if I prefer a more consolidated view, just a table view, I can do that and it's all available there. But what I just wanted to show you is the ability to drill through from the home page into the underlying data. The next one is my up and coming activities. So this is behind this is my calendar. So the calendar is obviously something that we're all pretty familiar with, Microsoft Outlook, so on and so forth. And what this allows within SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer, we've got a integration between Outlook, Lotus Notes, and Gmail with C4C, where things like email, calendars, tasks can be shared and synchronized. So it's a great tool. So regardless of what your preference is around organizing your day, week, month, you can synchronize the two, and then the two are updated, and all the information is stored within your CRM. Other great tools, we're also seeing things like KPIs and scorecards. That's just giving an understanding of how we are positioned at the moment. I can do things like annotate the screen and share it to my team members. So, if I'm looking at these current KPIs, I see that our pipeline's relatively good, but our closing rate is not so flash, and I've got a stalled deal here. So a great tool is the ability to annotate the screen. So I can drill in, select the annotate mode, and then I can start marking on the screen what I would like to share to my team or an individual, um, just as a simple step. Visual tools like this are much more powerful than sentences sometimes. So I can mark out the screen. Up the top right, I can go share via email, and it will open up the local email application. So I'm currently on an iPad, so I can then share that out to one of my team members and say, FYI, and send that through. Boom, done. They're informed. Obviously, there could be more notes around that and um, to to explain what the expectations are, but it's a very great tool. Straight from SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer, I can inform people and colleagues, and we're away. Other similar tools is the pipeline influencer. So this is a great tool because this is very interactive. What I can see is my current pipeline. I've got a total of 4 deals, all of different values and different levels of success. And this allows me to drill through to the source data as well. So I can click on those bubbles and drill through to the underlying transactions. So SAP Hybris Cloud for Customers is very much geared up about not being so much of a click fest. You know, if I see some information, I can drill through, I can drill through, and I can drill through. So from here, I can find out more information about that particular opportunity. A better example of the drill down capabilities is within my calendar. So if I just go out of the pipeline influencer and drill back into the calendar, I can look at events that have or appointments that I've had in the past and show you some of the drill down capabilities. So yesterday morning I had a present solutions to Blue Zoom Technologies. I can click on that and then it gives me a summarized view of that. So, you know, the date, time, the account, phone numbers, so on and so forth, and who organized it. But I can then drill through to that appointment again. So if I click on that, it gives me the information related to that appointment. So up the top, I've got my header information, just what I saw on the summary just before from the calendar. I can see the involved parties. I've got my notes there as well for the purpose of this appointment, so on and so forth. I've also got the feed. So, you know, the homepage, we had the feed, and this is the feed relating only to this particular appointment. So if I've got colleagues that are contributing to this particular appointment and they just want to broadcast some ideas or relating activities, they can publish it here, and I'll be subscribed because I am involved in this appointment, and I can get a quick bit of information there. I also can see related items. So what I can see here is that I've got follow-up items up the top and related items down the bottom. So follow-up items, I've got a quote. Looks like a quote was prepared for this particular as an outcome of this appointment. Also down the bottom there, I see that it's linked to an opportunity, end of year deal for 2017. But it's also linked to a campaign. So it looks as though this particular opportunity came from one of the marketing campaigns that marketing would have done, an email campaign, an SMS campaign. There's several channels that the marketing team can use, and I can drill through and find out more information. But just for now, I might drill in through to the opportunity and give you an explanation of what's behind an opportunity. So I'm in the opportunity now, same look and feel. The header information is up the top. I can see all the information there. It's currently in the quotation phase. It's been in 6 days in this particular sales phase. The probability hasn't been published to my forecast yet, so you know that's something I should resolve. 75% probability. Looks like it's going to be closing next month, so you know I might publish that as part of my forecast, which is quite easy to do. Down the bottom right, I've got my little pencil. I can change that to edit mode, and then I can quickly flag that to publish to forecast, and then I can submit that forecast to my manager. I can save that, and then that's updating the cloud or the system as a whole. I can carry on through. I can look at my feed, same as before. I can see the relating products that have been attached to this particular opportunity. So I see I've got road bikes as part of it, some BMX bikes, so on and so forth. So all the information is readily at hand. I can do sales activities, look at what all the previous sales activities that have been done to date and into the future. So appointments, got tasks, got phone calls and emails, and I've also got the activity advisor. So the activity advisor is a tool to suggest next steps. based on the current stage that you're in, what your next step to then go to the next stage. So that can be a very handy tool tailored to your requirements. I can then drill through to competitors. So looks as though there's one competitor here. I can drill through. So if I'm, preparing myself for an appointment with this particular customer or prospect, I can then drill through and I get an understanding, there's a competitor bidding for this particular deal. I see that this particular competitor we've gone against them a couple other opportunities as well. I can look at their product range and see how they relate to our products. So, this particular competitor has the Tiger road bike, but we've got the Rapid road bike, and they are somewhat the same. But then you've got other categories of, where they're worse than ours or better than ours. So, giving us all the necessary information there to, tailor our bid or our message. Other things there, we've got a sales team, contacts. We've also got timeline, which is a great visual tool. So previously I showed you all the sales activities. This is a visual representation of what's happened to date. On the top side, we have all the external activities, so phone calls and appointments. And then down the bottom, we have all our tasks. So those are, our internal activities, which are our tasks that are completed within the organization. So great visual tool. We can see that I can expand the horizon and see, when the anticipated close date is. So you've got a bit of time to go. So all that information's there, and I could get all these great visual cues of where we're currently standing. Other things are the buying center. So the buying center allows us to structure the customers or prospects organization within our CRM package to get an understanding of who reports to who are the influencers, who are the detractors, and everything there. So Megan Hotel looks as though she's the senior person within this organization. Joe Wolfred reports to her, and then I can actually drill into that link and then find out more about that relationship. So I can see that Joe directly reports to Megan, see his attitude, how often they interact, and level of influence, and all those sort of things. So these are great bits of information to store. So whenever you're going forward with existing opportunities or new opportunities with this particular prospect or customer, you've got all this information there. Where do you send the message? Who's going to help you out with obtaining success? So that's just a bit of a run through of the opportunity. And what I'll do now is go back to our homepage. So from the homepage, I can quickly access or add additional information into SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer. Down the bottom left, I've got the add icon, and then that quickly shows me the available records that I can create within SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer. Accounts, contacts, visits, opportunities, and I also can create leads. So, if I at a roadshow and I bump into a new lead, I can quickly from my homepage create a new lead and the form will open up. So this gives me the opportunity to populate the necessary information for the lead, or I can use the scan capabilities, the business card reader capabilities within SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer. So down the bottom right, I've got the scan, and what that allows me to do is take a photo using my iPad at the moment, available on the iPhone or any Android device that has a camera. I can take a photo of that, and as long as it's in focus, giving it the best chance to read the information, I can then submit that to SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer, and that will analyze the data, the photo, and grab the elements from that particular image and then populate the form on my behalf. So, doing the admin while I'm still engaging with that new lead, explaining our message and all that sort of stuff. So it populates the form. It's done a relatively good job. My name is populated. It's got the company name, not 100%, but we can fix those things up. So that's been fixed up. It's broken down the first name, last name. I can add additional information such as the source, the qualification level. You're seeing that it's got the phone number and mobile number and my email in the right fields. And then I can fill in the other areas as I'd like. I also can take advantage of other features within the tablet, such as like dictating notes to C4C. So I'm on the Notes tab now and I'm just changing it to dictate mode. Spoke to James during the roadshow. He is very interested in our product range. Please arrange promotion catalog to be emailed to him. All right, good enough. But that gives you an idea of what the options are. So I can save that and then that will become a lead which I can follow up when I'm back in office or have the next opportunity. So within SAP Hybris Cloud for Custom, I've got a broad range of access throughout the CRM based on my privileges within the system. So on the left-hand side here, we've got our menu panel, and all the typical areas of CRM are available here. And also it gives me access to data within my ERP application, such as SAP Business One. Now, when it comes to SAP Business One, there is a standard integration with Hybris Cloud for Customer with things like customers. So, if I create or make amendments to customers within C4C, it updates Business One, and Business One will update C4C as well. It's a bi-directional integration between the two products. So, great thing to have out of the box. Same thing goes with products. So when it comes to products in particular, it's a bit of a different arrangement. ERP is the master when it comes to products and pricing. And obviously there's other capabilities of SAP Business One which won't be native to CRM. So it's best practice to have your ERP as the master of products and services. But then within CRM, I've got full access here. So I see all the products coming through here. Got all the information and pricing available readily at hand. This then allows us, so we've got the combination of both products and customers. That means that I can create sales quotes within the system and submit that to SAP Business One to complete the supply chain. So very good tool to help the sales team keep the ERP up to date across the board. Other areas I'll go through is the visit. So if I'm a guy, a salesman on the road, I'll generally try and visit, plan my days, and I've got a great tool here called the Visit Planner. So what the Visit Planner is, it looks at my particular accounts and using Google Maps and allows me to organize tours or just one-off visits. So, I can click on a particular account on the left-hand side here. So if I were to go to Yakadu, I can click on that and then it allows me to drill into Yakadu and find all the information there. The alternative is arranging a tour. So if I wanted to see several sites, so if I'm out east of Melbourne today, or I want to, I can quickly look at this particular map. I see that I haven't visited a few of my accounts in a while, and it looks like account number 8, 9, and 3 is a logical set of customers to go visit. So what I can do here is on the left hand side, select those 3 accounts. So number 3 was RealBridge, number 9 was Dablist, and number 8 was Skipstorm. So I've selected those 3 accounts. That looks as though it's going to be a day's worth of visits. Down the bottom right there, I can then create a visit tour. I can then plan, when this is going to take place. So I can plan it later half of this week and call it Melbourne Inner East Tour. I can then create, submit that back to, add that to the system, and then that's my day arranged for the 18th. So that's just a very easy tool to assist me with keeping in contact, keeping the number of touches with our customers as high as possible. So I've been showing you a bit of the mobile version of SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer, or the mobile view. What I might do is change it up and move it to the web browser view. So I'm still going to be logged on as Trent Black, but I am going to be in the web browser. So I'll quickly switch that across to the web browser. So I'm currently in Google Chrome, but if you use Firefox, Internet Explorer, Safari, it's all supported. So just like what I was showing you with the home page within the mobile version, I now have my home page within the web browser version. All the same data, all the same information, no difference whatsoever. It's just a different aesthetic. So I can close that home page down, and this is the web browser structure. I have our modules across the top. So these are called work centers. I've got my customers, people, and marketing. So those were some of the options that we saw within the mobile version. And I can drill around using my keyboard and mouse and having access here. I can hover over bits of information and it gives me a summarized view of that particular account, but then I can drill in. You see icons down the bottom here of this particular summary, the follow or subscribe. So when we're talking things like the feed, I can then subscribe to activity behind this particular customer. That doesn't have to exactly be customer. It could be a colleague, it could be a product, it could be an opportunity, anything, particular type of record within SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer I can subscribe to or follow. I've also got things to flag and favorite. So if this is a common customer I regularly go to or I'm focusing on at the moment, I've got a big opportunity and I'm regularly going into this particular account, I can flag that account. And what that allows me to do is rather than using the menu structure up the top there, I can use the shelf on the right hand side here. So I quickly see all the available options here. So I've just flagged that particular account. Now it's readily at hand here, and I see that some accounts have been flagged. I've got a competitor flagged account, and I've got employees and products all indicated here. So these are just shortcuts to areas within SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer. I've also got tags. So based on comments throughout SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer, it will pick up patterns. So I can see that good work has been used twice, cyclic rides has been used twice, and service. So this gives me an idea of where certain phrases are being used. So if I drill into good work, it will then find the particular records that have that particular phrase within it. So I can see that a service ticket had that particular phrase in there, and I had something in my feed. So, just if I'm trying to find information, I can use, the organization or individuals' names, or I can use particular phrases that are commonly being used within SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer. Other things that are more aligned to the web browser is the quick panel. So there's a set of icons here. So if I want to quickly create a new individual customer or create a new lead, I can create it directly from the side panel here. All the necessary fields are available here, and is identical to the mobile version, down to the degree that I can personalize the screen. So let's say I no longer want to see category. I can remove this by going to my personalization mode, highlight that particular field, and then hit the X mark, hide this element. So when I do things like this, personalization, that applies to not only the web browser view, but also the mobile view. So identical look and feel. There's no two silos of look and feel. They are the same, you know, so that's very good. Um, so other areas of SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer are things like your marketing. So built into SAP C4C is the marketing module that allows you to generate or create target groups based on the leads, prospects, customers, contacts within C4C, and then be able to slice and dice those particular records based on attributes such as their industry, their role, ABC classification, their location, to then drive your marketing. So I've got a set of options here, a set of examples such as, the purchasing department contacts within Australia, A-class retailers, all available there, and then I can see the total number of members. Then also then drives into the content, so things like your email campaigns, you can create templates and then insert them into C4C. And then you can drive marketing within SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer. So, we've got the template here. It's all available here. And then you can then attach that to a campaign. And then the campaign allows you to then do email blasts to those within the target group. And then you can see responses such as, have they opened the email? Have they deleted the email? Have they clicked through to, your website, so on and so forth. And then it can then do, C4C can respond to them. So, based on that activity against the email, it can then say, well, this particular person within that target group needs a phone call or a notification or an email or a subsequent campaign. So that's all capable within the marketing module work center within Hybris Cloud for Customer. Other areas such as your analysis. So there's a standard suite of dashboards and reports within SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer. So we can see things like our pipeline scoring based on sales lead, and we get a view of that information here. So, I see line graphs, I see bar graphs. I can hover over that information. So, our lead sourcing from campaigns, we've got 21 hot ones, 16 warm. External partner is sending us plenty of cold leads, but all that information's there. I can then drill into that particular dashboard and then do further slicing and dicing of the information here. So I've focused on a particular graph, and then I can use the additional attributes here to then do further slicing and dicing. Standard suite of available dashboards, but then you can build up on them over time. Reports. So, if you want your more traditional report, they're available there, but then they can be converted into dashboards as well, all using the HANA platform behind the scenes, so real-time aggregation of data readily at hand. So, that slice and dice pivot table approach is a native feature within SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer because it's leveraging the HANA analytics behind the scenes. I've also got other options here. I can do surveys. So surveys are great. So earlier I arranged a visit, and then based on that visit, I could then enforce either enforce or have optional conditions to create surveys. Surveys are great because it just guides that individual, that salesperson, to make sure they ask this question, and it's all structured. So the notes that they gather it for that particular event are captured in a uniform structure for later referral. So that information is there. So surveys is a great tool. You can accumulate a question bank. So for later surveys that you want to develop, they're all available there. Other areas of the system is the service module, which is a very significant, a large part of the system, which I won't be able to go through in its entirety today. But what this allows you to do is create tickets that then allow your field services to react to those using the tablet mobile version of SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer. Other parts of the module are the social integration. So standard comes integration with social media channels such as Twitter. Change that to all messages. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. You can also use your email as a channel, your website as a channel, and that all feeds through here. And then based on things like the sentiment, so there's pattern recognition within the within C4C to recognize if it's a positive or a negative sentiment, and then based on that analysis you can then drive the type of ticket from within the service module. So very powerful tools there, all integrated to your social media. So if you have that sort of presence online, use your Twitter and Facebook, you can integrate the two and the data comes straight through, and then you've got all that hashtagging and all that sort of stuff that I showed you earlier. Another significant part of SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer is the Outlook integration that comes standard. Outlook integration is one. There's also Lotus Notes and Gmail integration that comes with C4C. No additional licensing required. What I'll do now is just use my own Outlook to give you an understanding of what it's capable of. And what I have here is a few emails that I've received. And on the right hand side, we have the Hybris Cloud for Customer side panel. And what this does is based on the sender of the email, the panel then presents me information relevant to that email. So Sarah at myworks.com.au is Sarah here, and she works at myworks, and I've got her email there. So that's the link between the email and C4C. Then it can start presenting me information like the phone number, mobile, and address information, but then also other areas of the system as well. So I can see that Sarah is involved with a number of activities, and I can see the information there. And then I also see that she's involved with a quote. But the same goes with other areas. So we've got opportunities, leads, and campaigns also available. So if I go into opportunities there, I can see that Sarah is involved with a BMX bikes opportunity. The good thing here, though, is that straight from the side panel, I can then drill into C4C. So I can click on the ID of the quote, and it opens up a web browser and drills me into the information relevant to that particular document. So we have the quote there. I see all the information. I see that Sarah is the main contact for this particular quote. That's why it's appearing. So, straight from Microsoft Outlook, I've got the information there, and then I can drill through. I can then add that email to the system. So if I've determined that it's relevant to the sales quote, I can then either hit add email, or what's easier is I can then click and drag that across here, and then that will be then in SAP Hybris. The content of the email will be within Hybris attached to that sales quote. So I can keep on clicking through. I can then click on Claudia. and it gives me information around Claudia, Walter, and then I can see also that Marco has information there. So as long as that email account exists within SAP Hybris Cloud for customer, I can then create that link, and then SAP it can then really help me out with my day. Um, Other things that the Outlook add-in can do is when I create a new appointment. So I've created a new appointment relevant to this email from Marco. I can then add, I've got this additional option here to add the appointment to SAP Hybris Cloud for customer. So I can schedule myself, I can, do whatever I need to do to fit it into my calendar. But then once that's determined, I can submit it back to, uploaded it to SAP Hybris Cloud for customer, and then my CRM is up to date. Same goes with tasks. So if I create myself a task, if I use Marco again, I can then click and drag that down, and then I can add a task up there as well. So the the add-on within Outlook is pretty powerful. I've also got access to the feed. So that feed that we've talked about, that's available within here. And then I've also got that shelf. So, if I've constantly in contact with Edge Pulse, or, want to look at Zoo, I can do the same thing. I can click through. I can also use the search capability. So if I look up someone like Thomas, it will show me anywhere within the system where the word Thomas is. So, if it's in the address details or the first name of an individual, I'll see them all available there. So you can achieve a great deal within this add-in. Great tool. Another Microsoft add-in is the Microsoft Excel add-in. So I've got one open up here, but what this allows me to do is do data imports, data adjustments using the Excel add-in. The example that I've got in front of us right now is the sales target plan, where if you're an organization that has sales targets, per sales employee, this is something that you'll probably look into, and you possibly revise several times a year. So what you can do is export that sales target plan out of C4C. You can then modify it within Excel. So if I change 35K to 40K, it recognizes the change. And then what I can do is then upload the input directly into C4C. That's just one example. It's used for a range of things similar to SAP Business One Data Transfer Workbench, DTW. So Excel spreadsheet templates to upload the data into C4C. So another great tool that's just out of the box that can help us with our day. Thanks for watching. If you'd like more information regarding SAP Hybris Cloud for Customer, go to our website, leveragecrm.com.au. Thanks.